Captain Alejandra Soto took a deep breath as the human delegation's shuttle docked with the immense alien space station that served as the hub for the Galactic Council. After centuries of dreaming and decades of planning, humanity was finally making official first contact with intelligent alien civilizations. As the airlock cycled open, Soto plastered a diplomatic smile on her face and led her team out, coming face to face with their alien ambassadors, the Kazathi. The towering reptilian bipeds regarded the humans with a clear disdain in their cold, unblinking eyes. "Greetings," Soto began. "I am Captain Alejandra Soto, representing the United Earth government and the people of humanity on this first contact mission." The lead Kazathi ambassador's tail twitched with what Soto could only interpret as irritation or impatience. Yes, the humans have arrived," it hissed in its strange, sibilant language translated by her universal communicator. "Let's get this. Indoctrination underway." Soto's smile remained, but she felt her eye twitch slightly at the condescending choice of words. The Kazathi seemed to already look down upon humanity as backwards newcomers. As the alien ambassadors led them through the dizzying, bustling concourses of the Council space station, Soto couldn't help but gape in awe at the incredible diversity of strange alien species and unfathomable technology on display. Sleek, antimatter-powered starships and reality-defying megastructures made human innovation look like a crude first step. The Kazathi seemed to take perverse pleasure in witnessing the humans' wonder-struck reactions. "I can see the amazement and confusion in your puny little ape eyes," the lead ambassador said with a cruel chuckle. "This must all seem so overwhelming to a species just taking its first steps out of its cradle system." Soto shot a warning glance at her hot-headed chief engineer Ramirez, whose face had flushed red at the insult. Diplomacy was key here, even in the face of such open derision. "We have much to learn," Soto replied evenly. "That is why we are honored to join the Galactic Council and be part of this amazing interstellar community." "You are getting ahead of yourselves, humans," the Kazathi sneered. "The Council has granted you a mere audience, nothing more. It may be thousands of cycles before you primitive savages have mastered even the most basic interstellar technologies and attain the status of a full Council race." The verbal jabs and put-downs continued as the ambassadors led them to the Council's central amphitheater chamber, a massive spherical auditorium filled with alien dignitaries and representatives from hundreds of civilizations across the galaxy. All eyes seemed to regard the human delegation with a mixture of curiosity, indifference, and open scorn. As the Xathi ambassadors took their place before the assembled council members, Soto's heart pounded in her chest. This was it, humanity's first official appearance on the galactic stage. Despite the Kazathi's blatant disrespect, she had to make a strong impression and case for humanity's membership. "Esteemed representatives of the Galactic Council," the lead Kazathi began, "we regrettably bring before you a most unexceptional species known as humans from the isolated system you call Sol." Snickers and snide laughter echoed from the assembled alien crowds at the derisive introduction. Soto grit her teeth, her face flushing. While these simians have only just managed to stumble into the most rudimentary form of faster-than-light travel, they have arrogantly petitioned for full membership in our esteemed council body, the Kazathi continued with clear disdain. Clearly, they are overstepping their limited capabilities as a primitive, pre-industrial civilization playing with forces they can scarcely comprehend. On the massive view screens, a holographic display showed the clumsy-looking human wormhole drive technology compared to the Kazathi's own advanced method of 12th-dimensional shunting used for interstellar travel. The assembled aliens gawked and laughed openly at humanity's comparatively primitive innovation. "You see how they laugh at your attempt at space travel. You're lucky one of the members has a soft spot for you humans, or else you wouldn't even be here now," the Kazathi stated with a puffed-out chest. The Kazathi ambassador continued mocking humanity's technological inferiority on the main view screens. "As you can see, the humans' pathetic wormhole drives are little more than a crude spatial distortion compared to our mastery of 12th-dimensional shunting to transcend space-time itself." Holographic diagrams and equations representing the advanced alien technology flickered across the screens. To the human scientists and engineers, the complex hyperdimensional calculations and exotic matter-energy requirements looked incomprehensible. Of course, these primitive ape creatures could never hope to reverse engineer or replicate such a sophisticated method of transwarp travel. The Kazathi sneered with undisguised arrogance. My colleagues and I have discussed this openly in front of them, knowing their feeble primate minds are eons away from. The ambassador stopped short, noticing the focused look of intense concentration on Captain Soto's face as she studied the virtual diagrams. The rest of the human delegation had adopted similar rapt expressions, their own enhanced cognitive implants rapidly processing and analyzing the information being openly displayed. You cannot possibly be comprehending any of these hyperspatial geometries, the Kazathi sputtered, its previous smug condescension melting away to disbelief. They are far beyond. Actually, I believe we're beginning to grasp the core principles behind your civilization's methods of 12th dimensional shunting, Soto interjected calmly. By utilizing a radically reentrant manifold of warped space-time and an exponentially modulated matter-antimatter reaction, you're able to bypass normal dimensional boundaries and effectively tunnel through the cosmic substructure. A stunned silence fell over the assembled aliens as Soto seamlessly integrated the underlying quantum variables and subspace field equations into a coherent theoretical model right before their eyes. On the view screens, the human scientists had already begun extrapolating the core concepts into a workable prototypical drive system using their own enhanced computational abilities. The Kazathi ambassador opened its mouth, but could only produce a sputtering series of enraged hisses and clicks from its mouth. The arrogant aliens who had so derided and looked down upon humanity had just had their greatest technological achievement openly analyzed and reverse-engineered by the supposed primitive savages. Soto leveled a measured look at the Kazathi, her expression neutral, but her eyes burning with quiet determination. While we may be new to the galactic community, we are an intelligent, sophont species with our own formidable capabilities, she stated firmly. We have no desire to be coddled or looked down upon, but to be granted full membership and status as a spacefaring race, ready to make our own contributions to the Council's mission of interspecies cooperation and mutual advancement. The human delegation held their heads high, meeting the stunned looks of the alien ambassadors with calm confidence. The path to joining the galactic community would be an arduous one, but they had already taken the first vital step in proving their species was a more than worthy addition. After this pivotal moment, in which the Xathi's overt arrogance and condescension towards humanity had spectacularly backfired, the Council would have no choice but to seriously reevaluate their membership petition. Humanity's arrival as a new, dynamic force to be reckoned with had certainly made an impression on the galactic stage. The Xathi ambassadors slunk away in humiliated fury after the disastrous first audience, where the humans had so deftly unraveled their prized technological secrets. In the secluded confines of their private chambers, they began feverishly discussing how to undermine these dangerously clever newcomers. This damnable species of upstart apes must be expelled from the galactic community before they upset the natural order any further. The lead Kazathi ambassador hissed, its tail lashing angrily. Who knows what other trouble they will cause with their relentless questioning and casual disregard for our traditions. Indeed, the humans have already made a profound misstep in unraveling our mastery of 12th dimensional shunting, another added through clicked consonants. It took our greatest scientists and philosophers cycles upon cycles to evolve that technology from mere theoretical calculations. Yet these mammalian primitives reverse-engineered it through brute computation in the span of a single audience. Then we must employ more subtle methods to see that they are rejected from full membership and sent scurrying back to their isolated solar system, the lead ambassador decided. Already I can sense unease and fear among many council races about integrating such an insatiably curious species that seems to advance too quickly. As the Xathi ambassadors schemed, unseen forces seemed to be aligning in humanity's favor elsewhere on the council station. Discreet messages and coded diplomacy played out behind the scenes as pro-human factions made surprising inroads. When the fateful day of the council's vote arrived, the Kazathi were stunned to see human membership approved by an overwhelming majority. Soto and her delegation could scarcely believe the news, becoming the youngest, newest race ever admitted for full participation. Granted, humanity would start at the lowest level with limited authority and privileges. But they had taken the vital first step in joining this vastly experienced interstellar community of alien civilizations. Despite the Xathi's obstructionist efforts, it seemed some other influential forces had been working in the shadows to sponsor humanity's induction. As Soto shook hands and mandibles with ambassadors from prominent alien races, she couldn't help but wonder who had helped grease the wheels and secure this decisive victory over the Kazathi's staunch opposition. Whoever they were, humanity now had a chance to make its mark among the stars. For their part, the angry and resentful Kazathi ambassadors could only seethe in silence at being outvoted and outmaneuvered. If these humans thought they had already overcome the first grand hurdle, they were gravely mistaken. This is merely the opening salvo, the lead ambassador promised his fellows in a private aside. We have undergone the rise and fall of countless arrogant civilizations over the eons. Humanity will be made to understand they are hardly exceptional. With subtle machinations and carefully applied pressures, the Xathi vowed to undermine humanity's standing within the council at every turn. These newly arrived upstarts would soon learn the hard truth that the galaxy's oldest powers did not cede their influence so easily to brash, reckless newcomers. The ancient game of galactic politics was just beginning, and the Kazathi intended to play a very long. Here's the continuation, with the Xathi attempting sabotage against the human ship, but being thwarted by an unseen benefactor. The human starship Odyssey prepared for its first official mission as a newly minted member race of the Galactic Council. Engineering teams worked around the clock, upgrading systems and integrating alien technologies begrudgingly shared by the Council's senior races. Unbeknownst to the human crew, a lone Kazathi infiltrator had managed to sneak aboard during the refit process. Utilizing its species' natural camouflage abilities, the reptilian saboteur ghosted through the corridors unseen until reaching the engine room. With blinding speed and deft movements, the Xathi attached a small alien device no larger than a fist to the core of the human vessel's experimental wormhole drive. The sophisticated piece of machinery pulsed with malign intent, designed to override safeguards and push the engine system into a catastrophic overload. The Xathi allowed itself a cruel, fanged smile as it slipped away. When the humans inevitably fired up their crude wormhole generator, it would detonate in an unstoppable wave of exotic particles and radiation. The unfortunate accident would set back humanity's interstellar efforts by decades and prove their technological inferiority once and for all. On the council station, the lead Xathi ambassador received encoded confirmation that the sabotage had been successfully deployed. Let the humans perish by their own arrogant overconfidence in forces they barely comprehend, it hissed to its subordinates. Their untimely demise will be a valuable lesson to the other upstart newcomer races about respecting their place in the galactic order. As the human crew prepared for launch, blissfully unaware of the deadly trap lying in wait, unseen forces once again seemed to be aligning in their favor. Undetected by the Xathi's senses, an outside presence moved among the Odyssey's systems in a way that defied their understanding of three-dimensional space. With a mere metaphysical nudge, the sabotage device attached to the wormhole drive flickered and went dormant, its detonation sequence disabled. The unknown benefactor had struck another crucial blow against the Kazathi's subversive efforts to undermine humanity. In the engine room, Lieutenant Yumi Akari's enhanced augmented reality sensors picked up a strange energy reading near the wormhole generator, indicating some form of technological interference. However, before she could investigate further, the anomalous signal vanished as quickly as it appeared. Shaking her head in bewilderment, Akari noted the odd incident in her log before moving on with pre-launch preparations. The deadly sabotage had been thwarted once again, without humanity being any the wiser. Back on the council station, the Kazathi's smugness turned to confusion and outrage as reports came in about the inexplicable failure of their sabotage attempt. The lead ambassador pounded the table with its fists, furious at the repeated, almost supernatural setbacks. This is inadmissible. Our plans cannot possibly be undermined at every turn by sheer chance, it roared at the other ambassadors. There is an outside force at work here, protecting the humans through means unknown to us. The Xathi could only seethe in impotent anger as the human starship launched without incident, bound for its first official exploratory mission under the Galactic Council's banner. Though they had been spared this time, the vengeful ambassadors vowed to redouble their efforts until they found a way to cut humanity down to size. Somewhere out there, an enigmatic presence continued its silent work, keeping a watchful guard over the fledgling human spacefarers as they took their first steps towards a greater galactic destiny, me indeed when it came to these troublesome humans. Had the Galactic Council been too quick in their decision to welcome the humans, only time will tell. And of course, humanity's ever-growing hunger for adventure and curiosity keeps everyone at the Council guessing at what they will do next.